Okay, welcome to this presentation where I will be comparing and contrasting buying and holding rental property for rental income versus investing in a private equity fund, fixing and flipping houses, and a profit sharing. These are two models for a passive income. So here's a disclaimer and a disclosure. This is for informational purposes only. This is not investment advice nor an offer to buy or sell securities. I'm a licensed real estate agent and associate broker with RE/MAX Town & Country in Canton, Georgia. So let's compare and contrast the rental income first. Holding rental properties is about buying and holding real estate for cash flow, for income, for long-term equity appreciation. Eventually, those properties will be sold, and they'll be sold at a higher price than they're acquired for. Fixing and flipping, on the other hand, is about adding value and selling or reselling properties for fast profits, high yield returns, and short-term forced appreciation. So by adding value to a house, by making repairs and upgrades, we can force the appreciation of the value of a property. Now, some common benefits about investing in real estate, whether it's rentals or in a fund. This can be passive or semi-passive investments. Owning rental property is actually not truly a passive investment. It could simulate being passive with property management, but an investor owns the property, and therefore it's not truly passive. But with a fund, the investor invests in the fund and does not actually own the property. But anyway, it's passive or semi-passive either way. Your money works for you. You have a higher ROI versus having your money just sit in the bank. And the investment is not correlated with the stock market. And this is a very important point because real estate is the number one alternative asset, and in part because it's not correlated with the stock market. This is normally the best first step towards diversifying out of the stock market for investors once they want to get into alternatives, because most people are knowledgeable to some degree and familiar with real estate compared to some other obscure types of alternative investments. Investors can experience wealth creation through income and profits, which are secured by the real estate, and that's a very important point. The property on rental property, the property must cash flow. These properties are unicorns right now. The numbers just don't work. Maybe a 5% return on investment, and the risk of vacancy with such a small margin really is very close to being a negative cash flow situation when there is a vacancy. So this chart is the prices. The graph in the black line graph is the average sales price in the Metro Atlanta area, and the red line and the green line kind of represents where the market stabilized after the great crash of 2008, 2009. But then you can see the black line went outside and above the green line when the market went crazy. And this is just a vivid illustration of why rental properties just don't work if you're acquiring rentals now. So buying rentals is currently not the best option for most investors who are looking for passive returns and less risk of negative cash flow. Fixing and flipping properties, on the other hand, is truly a passive investment with professional management. It can be profitable in up markets, down markets, or sideways markets. Tenants are irrelevant, and forced appreciation through the value that's added results in profits. Returns of 10 to 12% or higher can be realized. Experienced fund managers find better deals than a single investor out there trying to find a rental property that works. And the fund mandate may allow holding houses that cash flow as rentals with a high ROI of 10% or more. So if you like the idea of holding rentals, of owning real estate long term, although you don't own it with a fund, your money can be invested in a number of rentals, even though it's primarily a fix and flip fund. So if you have more information about that, feel free to contact me. My number is 703-371-9548. Go to alphadogcapital.com and look for my free ebook, Fix and Flip Profits, a guide for passive and active real estate investors.